Hello dear students, I am Prabhat Dubey, your BST teacher from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. Yesterday we discussed about concept of business and today our topic is nature of business. What type of activities are included in business and what is the exact characteristic of business? How will you classify any activity under the purview of business? This is our topic for today. So we will study at least 6 points are there in your book that will show you the exact characteristic or nature of business. How will you categorize these activities? So the first one is business is an economic activity. As you know that any type of activity where there is involvement of exchange of goods and services and money is involved in that type of activity is called business. If you are supplying any goods and services and not receiving any money in exchange, then that activity will not be under the purview of business. If you are not getting anything in return, you are supplying the goods or providing the service free of cost, then it will be not included in business. But if money is involved in the mutually benefiting relationship, that is called business. Both the parties that are involved in any business should get benefited. One party is providing you the goods and services and other party is getting benefited to that. The needs, want and demand of the customer is getting satisfied through the product and service that is being provided by the manufacturer or supplier, and in return the customer is providing money to the manufacturer or service provider. So in this way the business relationship is established. So we know that business is an economic activity. As per your book, business is considered as an economic activity as it is undertaken with the objective or aim of earning money and livelihood and not for psychological satisfaction. As we discussed that the ultimate motive of business is earn profit. Psychological satisfaction is not involved because it is characteristic of non-economic activity. If anybody is helping someone, you are giving donation for the upliftment of the underprivileged class, that is not business. You are supporting, that is a social cause. You are helping others, you are helping the poor for education, sanitation, health. It is not business. But if you are providing any product or service and getting money in return, that is business. The second point is production or procurement of goods and services. In any business there is involvement of any manufacturing of product or adding some value to the pre-existing product. Some companies do not produce a specific product on their own. They obtain product from manufacturer and they add some value to that, and then the market is supplied with the value added product. So the mediator is also getting benefited. Like the food processing industry, like Nestle, different types of companies are there, Britannia, Parle. They are not producing the raw material on their own. They are just adding values and getting huge benefit. The food processing industries who are making energy drinks or fruit drinks, the fruit and vegetable are cultivated by the farmers and the companies purchase the fruits and vegetables from the farmers and process that fruit and vegetable in their manufacturing units where value addition is being done, and from that the packaged food material or drink is being supplied to the retailer and wholesaler, different types of channels that are providing the product to the end user, that is customer. So if customer is getting benefited, then the whole chain that is involved in making that product available to the customer will get proper benefit. If your product is not having proper quality, the product feature is not acceptable in the market, then in the long run you will suffer loss. Okay. The third point is sales or exchange of goods and services for the satisfaction of human needs. As I told you already that any product or service that is being provided to the customer should satisfy the basic need of the customer, and it depends on the class of the customer. as you know that different types of products are available to satisfy a single specific need, want or demand. Okay, so it depends on the purchasing power of the customer, how much money he is having to satisfy his own need. Okay, that's why companies target what type of population is to be covered through my product, because same company, if the company is established in the market, it provides different types of product with different values according to the purchasing power of different class. As you know that in India, the lower middle class constitute a huge population. That's why the products generally are categorized to satisfy the need of the middle class in India. The people who can afford the premium class products are very less in India. The billionaires can buy any product that is available in the market at any cost. So any company that is producing any product or providing any service, do some market research before introducing his product or service in the market, because the company need to know what type of environment is there in the market where that company is going to supply the product or service. What is the taste of the consumer? What is the purchasing power of the consumer? What type of competition is there for the same product? Such type of market research is highly needed before introducing your product. Otherwise, the chances of failure is very high. So, as we know that sales or exchange of goods and services, as you know that in ancient time there was no involvement of money or any bullion in any type of trade or exchange. Only goods and services were exchanged in return. If you are in need of any product or service, you provide some product or service that you are expertised in. Suppose you are producing apples and you want orange, so you will go to the person who will need apple and who can supply you orange in return. So if your need and someone other's need are just correlated with each other, you are having apple, you want orange, and someone is having orange and he want apple, then only the business relationship will be established. So such type of relationship possess restriction, consent was not easily available, because you have to search that which person is there in the market who need apple and who can supply me orange. It is not an easy task. Okay, that's why introduction of silver, gold, copper and different types of alloys were introduced, and in modern time money, digital money transfer is also there. So this involvement of money and coins eased the process of business. You don't need to find any person who is in need of your product. You can go to the market and buy anything that is to be available in your home to satisfy your need, want and demand. The fourth point is dealing in goods or services on a regular basis. This is also a specific compliance for business. As we discussed yesterday that if any activity is being done to satisfy your own personal need or want or demand, that will not come under the purview of business. If you are buying any product for your own satisfaction, you are not selling it in the market, then this will not called business. If you are buying a plot just to construct your own house or doing agriculture, that will not come under the purview of business. But if you are working as a commission based agent who buys plot from one party and sells to another party, then you will be considered as a businessman, because that activity is being done frequently. So frequent happening of the transaction or business activity is needed, then only that will be come under the purview of business. If any person is buying land for his own use, suppose in the entire life of any person, if he buys 2 or 3 plots for his own use, that will not come under the purview of business. Okay, so I think this is clear to you all. The activity should be done on regular basis, and involvement of money is there, then only it will be considered as economic activity and will come under the purview of business. The fifth point is profit earning. If the motive behind the business activity is profit earning, then only it will be called as business. Because different types of persons are there who perform activities just for serving mankind, helping others. It will not come under the purview of business. Suppose you are running an NGO and you are helping the people who are living below the edge, who are living below the poverty line, who are not able to meet their basic needs. So if you are supplying them any product, or you are helping their children for education, you are providing them medical facilities, as different types of corporates are doing in current scenario, that will not be under the purview of business. If the motive is profit earning, as you know that any type of manufacturing unit or organization that is being established for earning profit should consider the policies, environmental concerns, society. It does not mean that the sole objective of business is earning profit, then you can compromise on the environmental, political, social norms. If you are operating in any society, any specific location, you should take proper responsibility. Your activity, your production, your operations should not hamper the life of common man, should not hamper the national integration. You have to imbibe all the policies, all the manipulations, all the rules and laws that is being framed and monitored by the government or regulatory authorities. If you are not following that, it will be a punishable act. The last one is uncertainty of return and risk. This is the very noteworthy feature of business, because there is uncertainty and risk. So any person who can bear the risk, who can take moderate risk, I don't appreciate taking blind risk. The risk that is being taken by the businessman is calculated risk, moderate risk. The chances, the probability of success is being counted. It doesn't mean that any business person takes any awkward idea and make investment. It doesn't happen. Proper analysis of the situation is done. Project viability test is there. The project that is being made for your business, its viability is checked by experts. There are different specific consulting agencies who have renowned business ethics and financial experts who will check what is the rate of success of your plan, what type of products will be helping you to earn the desired profit, what should be your area of operation, what type of obstacles are expected to come your way. Such type of analysis is very much needed to ensure a highly probable success rate. Your probability of success should be high. Then only you should invest in a particular scheme or plan. So any businessman who is making investment always tries to increase the probability of success, but failure happens. You cannot deny this term that there are chances of failure, there is involvement of risk. So the person who are ready to take risk, they are the person who are ready to face the challenges, come to start any business venture. Who are not willing to take any risk generally go to secure job like government job or any renowned private sector company, then your life is secure. But in business there is always involvement of risk, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. If you are in government job, nothing will happen to your salary, but in private sector, corporate world, you don't know when your product will be disliked by the customer, when you need to introduce some new qualities, what type of value addition is required, what is the pattern of consumer behavior, how the change is being noticed in the taste of the consumer, what type of technology is being introduced day by day. You have to make yourself prepared enough to face these challenges. Okay, there is no surety of success in business. Okay, that's why the person who is starting any new venture always succumb to the different types of challenging scenarios. Like in MSMEs, 90% MSME units are failed within 1 year of their introduction, after their formation. So the success rate of MSMEs are very low. Okay, that's why expert guidance is needed to establish any MSME unit, and hand-holding support of the government is also very much needed to ensure the success and profitability of the business. So this nature of business is completed by today. Tomorrow we will discuss the multiple objectives of business. Okay, so we will meet again tomorrow to discuss this. Okay, thanks.